There we go. We have audio.
Good job.
I mean, are we really surprised that there's not at least some glitch here, whether technical or us?
No, you can't seem to do any live stream without screwing it up. I say you because you're the technical person in this partnership.
That's wholly fair.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
hi, people.
Hi. Hey, guys. As always, I'm Brad, that's Mike, we're Dallas Geek, and we're your guides to all of the latest nerdy news and geek culture.
Well, we have a new intro, we have a catchphrase, we have production value on our intro video. When the hell did all of this happen, Brad?
Times, places, and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? I think the flubs in technology and us may just be nature's way of counterbalancing our attempts to increase value of what our show looks and sounds and feels like. So, fair?
Yeah, that's probably a really good theory.
It happens.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Mike? You good?
Surviving, Brad.
You good?
I'm surviving.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we are going to need to be very good today because we are talking Disney, specifically Disney's D23 Expo, which was just this past weekend. And I think there was a lot of really cool things that happened and were announced there, but I don't know, do you have a differing opinion on that one?
Yes and no. There was some good stuff announced. There was some stuff that wasn't announced. That was a little disappointing.
Were you one of those fans out there that were just desperately hoping that they were going to announce that Henry Cavill's finally coming over to the MCU?
I was actually... that rumor keeps coming up, and I was actually like... I was thinking maybe we get something, but... like, there was good stuff from Lucasfilm. Mm-hmm. We'll get into it.
You know why they didn't announce him, right?
Why?
He's Mr. Fantastic.
Don't do that to me, Brad. But that is, I will be, that's the big one that I was wanting.
Yeah.
I was wanting that, or I was wanting, we talked about it, and we'll go into a little bit more, all of the things that they didn't announce from Phase 6, we thought they were going to be holding off for D23, and they didn't announce anything.
Well, I mean, in fairness, even when we said that we thought
Right.
they were holding off until D23 back when we were doing our Comic-Con recap, we more or less admitted that was kind of wishful thinking on our part. We thought maybe we'd get something, but realistically, maybe not.
But we're also not speculative assholes. We actually thought about it. We actually came up with a theory as to why they would hold off.
Sure.
The fact that most of these movies are only 2 to 3 years away, shouldn't we be getting stuff announced relatively quickly if they're all going to start going into pre-production within the next year? Unless they're going to hold off everything for next SDCC, or if they're going to do something in the spring?
Look, the way I see it, this is just Marvel showing that they're maturing.
Sure.
And that they have realized that with how hectic their production schedules are, and if they announce too many things too early, even if it's just 3 years away, that enough things can happen, a la the last 2 years, that production schedules and release dates can end up needing to be swapped around.
Well, what happened in the last 2 years?
I don't know, but I feel like something's telling me it was not great. And definitely had some kind of effect on Hollywood.
Was it?
But
was it a sickness?
I don't know, but I feel pretty down with the sickness.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, disturbed. Was it maybe a virus that came from a certain part of the world?
Oh,
I just love pushing your buttons. No, I mean that's fair.
This is when I need alcohol for our lives. Like I just need to take a shot every time you try to pull this on me.
No, you don't have the balls.
I mean, we have some downstairs. Balls.
Explain? No, actually don't. Oh, okay. No, you know what? Never mind. moving right along.
Oh,
but no,
my.
but there's something that we can get into as well too. But they made some announcements that they're making to the parks that are coming up, and I think they announced the new Disney Cruise Line, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But I think we were talking about it, and I think I don't know if it's that we're getting older. I don't know if it's, but I kind of feel like Disney used to do these big grandiose spectacles when they would announce stuff.
So,
And this felt, I don't want to say it felt like super corporate-y.
So I can't even say that it was necessarily Disney used to be more spectacle about announcing things.
Yeah.
I would say in general, the more nerdy and like fanciful entertainment
That's
used to
fair.
be much more bombastic with how they announced things.
That's true. Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, that was also back in the day where Comic-Con was still relatively niche. It was the early days of Marvel, so they had to hype everything up. And
True.
E3,
Do I have to cover the label when I drink this? Or can
I mean, I don't feel like a water company is going to be sponsoring anybody, so that doesn't seem like a big deal. But yeah, no, even back when E3 was its own niche enough thing that if you didn't go big and bold, the general public was not going to take heed. So I feel like this is more of an unfortunate natural progression of the industry that has, for some reason, decided that spectacle with announcement is a thing of the past.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's a Disney-specific thing, but I think Disney should be held to a higher standard because that is without question what they've been known for since the very beginning, thanks to Uncle Walt.
Right. Well, you know, when he wasn't saying things. That were...
Never verified. Never verified. Officially.
I mean, I think we all know he was a Nazi sympathizer, right? At this point, I don't think we're hiding it.
You can't say the Yahtzee word on YouTube.
Can you really not?
Well, it depends on the context, but typically not a great idea.
Okay. Interesting. But
well, too many other videos have in bad context and made it hard for the rest of us.
That's fair. Well, you know who isn't making big grandiose spectacles like this anymore?
Our sponsor?
Well, hopefully our sponsor isn't Warner Brothers Discovery.
That's
because they sure as hell aren't.
That is a dumpster fire that we're going to be diving into in a whole different show. Seriously, do expect that one to come up because
that might be the one. That might be the one where we drink.
If you have not been keeping up with that whole thing with Warner Brothers Discovery, oh boy, be prepared. Mm-hmm. But that's for another week.
Yeah.
So this week, D23. So if we're gonna dive into it,
let's do it.
I know this is a bit of a last minute live, so just checking the comments. Nope, nothing. Okay, cool. Moving on.
You sons of bitches.
I mean,
You comment now. That should work, right?
Yes. Antagonizing the internet to do a thing you want is always the way to do the thing.
I can make a really awful joke right now.
Yes, and I just realized on our many screens, I may have forgotten to move our show notes to the right one.
I mean, antagonizing an entire section of the internet worked for Trump, so...
Once again, we don't have alcohol to help soothe the awful things that you're about to call down on us.
Dude,
so
I'm just saying, if you're gonna
don't.
tee it up for me, expect me to swing for the fences.
Anyway, jumping into D23 and the good things. So, like we were saying, I think we actually had some decent announcements this year. Not everything was maybe the most exciting announcements, but overall, I think it was a very balanced set of fun announcements.
Yeah, I think that's I don't disagree with that. I think I was expecting more, especially from a Disney showcase.
Well, I think what you and I both, because we talked about this off screen,
Right.
what you and I were both expecting a bit bigger from,
Don't let them think we're friends outside of this.
or that we prepare.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
But I think the thing that you and I were both kind of hoping for and slightly disappointed by is the fact that this is the year leading up to Disney's 100-year anniversary.
Right.
And
Which is also kind of why I was expecting a lot
Yeah.
of like.
especially because D23 was themed around the Disney 100.
Right.
And they had several things that happened throughout the expo that did, in fact, refer to it.
Oh, I just thought
but
of an
it was
awful
just
joke.
never family friendly.
Yep.
It was never really
I'll tell you offline.
the most explicit aspect of the expo, which I think is
Right.
the part that was a little disappointing.
Well, we got the announcement of the what did they end up calling it? The
Oh yeah, that was from day.
I think it was day
2.
Right.
I believe.
It was the traveling basically the traveling museum that they're doing.
Hold
I
on,
can't
finding
remember.
and the Disney 100,
The exhibition.
Right.
Where
It's this massive exhibition that's going to be going city to city
Yep.
over the course of 5 years with just this massive amount of Disney
it's
history.
15,000 square feet. It's basically going to like it almost harkens back to the old days of like the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey like traveling kind of like exhibition
the
and
traveling roadshow.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, to showcase 100 years of Disney history.
Which, I mean, Star Wars just a few years ago did something similar, but I don't think it was even remotely this big.
Right.
And it definitely didn't go this long
No.
or have this many stops.
Yeah, 5 years.
Which I don't
Like,
don't
you
disagree
gotta-
with their decision to make that a 5-year journey.
Well, and it's not even necessarily
because-
the country; it's the continent.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go Canada, they'll go Mexico more than likely. But I mean, like 5 years. I mean, if you hit, even just trying to hit like what, maybe like 5 or 6 major cities in each seaboard or in each time zone, like probably what, like a month in each city, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of dope.
Yeah, no, and honestly, that's the thing. Like, we're talking about something that they announced the latest additions to this, which had not been previously announced, are going to be the Feed the Birds snow globe from Mary Poppins, the actual ride vehicle from the original Disneyland Peter Pan's Flight ride, and of course the chimes that were used to make Tinkerbell's jingle, which, I mean, we're talking some serious Disney history here, which is really, really cool.
And it's not just movie props. It's not like it's literally
everything.
all
Art,
aspects
like,
of Disney. Yeah.
was this 10 different art galleries that are going to be part of it, with just so much history for Disney, for the animation, for the props, for everything. In fact, it even says that there are going to be 250 rarely seen original artworks, artifacts, costumes, and props from different movies like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the original iterations of the Disney parks, and so much more, which is amazing.
Yep.
But the fact that that was not like center stage of all this was a little bit disappointing, but I mean, we're holding out hope that all of next year is going to be just 100 year, 100 year, 100 year, 100 year.
Yeah.
Just one more thing after another getting released and announced to us. And if Disney takes the rest of this year to just keep releasing more information and more bits and pieces to celebrate that 100-year anniversary, I think
I'm for it. Yeah.
we'll have more than enough to say, okay, fine. They didn't make D23 all about that this year, but you know what? We got our inner child's worth of giddy either way. So
Right.
cool,
Right.
cool. But yeah, so day one, there were a decent amount of things that were announced. So we had the announcement that there is going to be a live performance of the Broadway Beauty and the Beast on ABC, just like they had for Peter Pan and Little Mermaid.
Yep.
And this is going to be celebrating the 30-year anniversary of Beauty and the Beast, which is fantastic. And if I remember correctly, the other two live performances were very well received. So I'm all for seeing how this one goes.
I didn't watch them.
I didn't either, but that was less of a desire and more of a I just didn't have time thing.
Yeah, I will be watching this one though. So.
Oh, I know, yeah. I know. And for all of you out there that are not sure why, while I may be like the Star Wars fan amongst us, I can't even come close to the level of true fan and like pure joy that comes from Mike when it comes to Beauty and the Beast. Like I can't even hold a candle to you on that one.
Best Disney animated film, far and away, bar none. Before the expansion of the Best Picture category to 10 films, it was the only animated picture to be nominated for Best Picture.
I mean, I have a hard time arguing.
Because you can't. And we got to interview somebody from that.
Yes, which is coming out soon.
That was pretty awesome.
And I will say, as a nerdy kid myself, it was kind of amazing that it was the only major Disney film that was focused exclusively on a bookworm and the awesome things that she could do. Because I don't know about you, but I still fantasize about that library.
Oh yeah,
like awful, dirty fantasies about that library that are just amazing.
Moving on. So.
But yeah. So we had that, and then of course, there was the Disney Legends, which had so much going on. Yeah. There were stories that were told by newly inducted and existing legends, and of course, the induction of new Disney Legends, right. Which we're not even going to bother getting to all of them.
There was so much. Like it was. Yeah, I will say it was actually pretty dope that they live streamed this stuff.
Yes.
Like as much as people were bitching about the fact that like, oh, we want to see the trailers for like all of the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff, like this was the really cool stuff, like if we couldn't be there, that they put on the internet so that we could kind of get that experience of listening to them and hearing the stories of everything behind the scenes and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that was awesome.
Yeah. No, and I mean, like I said, we're not going to get into the full list of everybody that was inducted, but I will say my personal favorite one to listen to was Josh Gad's acceptance speech. He was amazing, but the ending of his speech in particular was maybe the best thing ever.
Oh, it was so ridiculous. It was awesome.
But yeah, so then of course, let's see, we had, there was the reunion of the new Mickey Mouse Club, which whose panel was hosted by Ashley Eckstein. And for those of you who don't know who that is, shame on you.
I like how the D23 website has to tell us who she is. Like, we know who she is.
Yeah. Like, if you don't know Ahsoka Tano, I don't know how to help you.
Right.
Ahsoka Tano, the creator of her universe, one of the best lines of nerdy clothing ever. Yep. And just, yeah, amazing. And then of course we had, for the ABC fans out there, the cast of Home Economics had a thing. I don't watch it, so I can't really speak to that, but
cool, good talk.
Neat. It's got Topher Grace, so good for him for still working.
Yeah, he bet on himself after that 70s show, and how'd that work out for you, bud?
Anyway, we also had what seems to be one of the things that's been getting a lot of hype from this compared to everything else. Yeah. Brie Larson's new movie that she made with Elijah Allen Blitz, Remembering, which is apparently the first movie, first feature film to incorporate augmented reality as part of the experience.
Right.
This movie is on, I believe now, on Disney Plus.
Yep.
And sadly, the augmented reality app that you need to be able to fully experience it is only for iOS. So those of us Android users out there get to borrow an iPhone.
Guess I just won't be watching Remembering, Brad.
Well, apparently you can enjoy it without that, but it just won't be a complete experience.
Cool. I guess I just won't be watching Remembering, Brad.
But, I mean, this is something where you know, it's kind of hard to top the hype for a movie whose early screenings were done with people like Quentin Tarantino and Steven Spielberg, and both of them came out raving about how amazing the film was, how amazing the augmented reality experience
What the hell
was.
do those two people know about making films?
Wouldn't know, especially not when it comes to the technology and process of making movies. I have no idea. But yeah, when you got guys like that are coming in and hyping this up, saying that this is the tool that they've been looking for to take the next big step in how they tell stories, and they are excited to be able to use this for their work. That's saying something very special, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this.
And don't forget also, I think that was all from that side, but remember they had the Disney Games was day one as well. So they did have the announcement of the they had the announcement of the story-driven Captain America Black Panther game, which is Skydance New Media, which was J.J. Abrams' production company. They're branching off into movies, or no, I'm sorry, not movies. They're branching off into video games.
One J.J. Abrams production that has not been canceled. Once again, we'll get into that in another week.
Yeah. The one that was surprising to me was they partnered. Disney is partnering with Niantic to do an AR Avengers game.
I'm sorry, say that again.
No.
The name of the company.
Niantic.
Try again.
How do you say it?
Niantic.
Sure, whatever. Pokemon Go. That's all you need to know.
And definitely not a Harry Potter game in existence from them. Nope, that's not a thing that exists, and we do not speak of it.
You're right, and apparently neither does Warner Brothers.
Moving on.
You're gonna keep teeing them up.
That one I'm fine with. We're just teasing the next show.
Yeah.
But yes, so any other big Disney game announcements?
Those were the two big ones that I remember. We've got Midnight Suns, which had already been announced. It's finally getting its release date. But yeah, those were the big ones in terms of like stuff that you could actually see like having a big, profound impact on the video game industry.
Yeah.
Especially with an augmented reality Avengers game.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, people can try to say that, well, do we really need another Avengers game?
Yes.
I'm going to say yes, only because when you're talking the Avengers, there are so many versions of them, and there are so many stories that have been told and can be told with them, that even if it's the Avengers,
right,
there's still so much more that you can do with that without running out of ideas.
Right.
So I think that's it's even with the prevalence of the MCU, I think as far as games go, that's still ripe for opportunity.
I would agree.
But then, of course, we had the big announcement for the Disney parks.
Yep.
Which the biggest of that was that they are going to be expanding the Avengers campus.
Yep.
Which awesome. Apparently, I don't think it's going to surprise anybody that the expansion to the Avengers campus is going to be based on the new multiversal shift in the MCU. And so the new bits and pieces of that are going to be related to the upcoming parts of the MCU, which
we are in the multiverse saga.
Yeah, neat, awesome. I think that was just expected to be coming eventually, but the fact that it's coming now already, since the Avengers Campus isn't that old,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be going all in on Avengers Campus, which, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, no, and honestly, the Avengers Campus and the Star Wars expansions that they keep making, I think those are two worlds within the parks that have so much more potential to add and expand on the experience that you can have without it feeling old or excessive, that I hope they don't stop anytime soon. I hope both of those are parts of the parks, both California and Florida, that just keep getting added to because there's so much potential there. Yeah. But I guess we'll see. And then, of course, there were the announcements related to the updates to the D23 Gold members, and some of the new perks that are going to be available to them at the parks, as well as the updates to how the parks reservations and ticketing processes are going to be changing to try to make it a little bit more of a more easily attainable experience for people, at least as far as who all's getting in, rather than feeling like it's just exclusively season pass holders. So awesome. And then, of course, Simpsons season 33, because that was totally unexpected.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're not hating on the Simpsons. We can never hate on the Simpsons, but it's the 33rd season. I don't think anybody was expecting anything else. I think the biggest shock would be if they said, okay, there will not be a season 33. We are officially saying Simpsons are done. That, I think, would be the biggest shock to everybody.
Yeah. That's all I got for that.
Yeah. So then we had day 2.
We did have day 2.
Which, once again, some more decent options.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, for day 2, we had the announcement of a Santa Claus TV show on Disney Plus, The Santa Clauses. Neat.
What else you got, Brad?
I mean, look, I'm not hating on the Santa Claus. I loved the first movie. The second movie was okay. Third movie exists. But I mean, the fact that Tim Allen is taking the success he's had with the Toy Story franchise and his run with The Last Man Standing on ABC, and parlaying them into another show with Disney, resurrecting another one of his properties. Okay, cool, that's fine. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people that like it. I'm not necessarily going to be one of the ones watching it, but cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's there.
Then we have Zootopia Plus, which apparently is going to be a series of shorts that are going to be interwoven with the events of the movie.
Yep.
Hence the Zootopia Plus part. And yeah, apparently 2 episodes were previewed at D23, and it sounds like people had fun.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, cool. It's there. It's kind of,
I think it's going to be one of those things that we'll be much more excited to finally watch than we are hearing the announcement.
Yeah.
Because the announcement's kind of whatever, but if the quality is anything like
much like something else we're about to talk about,
if the quality of the show is anything like the movie, we're gonna enjoy it because Zootopia was fun. It was a really, really good movie, and so I have high hopes, but I'm not gonna be like overly, oh my gosh,
right.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
So what else we got, Brad?
Well, there was a live performance from the cast of Encanto for what's the actual name of the Bruno song? All I can ever think of is just the Bruno song. We don't talk about Bruno. Yeah. Of course, it was actually that. That's what was going through my head, but I'm just going, am I just thinking of the main tagline from the song, or is that actually the title of the song?
Yeah.
I've heard it so many times, thanks to my kids rewatching it in TikTok, that I honestly had to question.
Yeah.
But that was apparently a really fun performance, which, I mean, I'd be all for seeing in person, so cool.
Yeah.
Then, of course, one of your happy parts, Mike.
Oh, do I get to talk now? Okay, cool.
Well, if you're willing.
We're getting a Muppets Christmas Carol. We're getting the uncut version. So this is basically going to have outtakes built into it. But the big thing is, for those of you like me who are a big Muppets fan and know about this, there is a song which I would argue is actually it's arguably the best song in the film. When Love Is Gone, it was cut from the original film, and the print was lost. And it's actually, when you watch the movie with the song in it, and then you watch it without it, it makes no sense why they cut it from the film.
Too depressing.
Well, but that's the point. That's kind of the point. The scene that they're at is when she basically calls off their marriage and is like, "You'll never love me." Engagement, sorry, yeah. But it's basically Ebenezer's fiance basically saying like it's over, it's done. Like, you'll never love me as much as you love work and other things. Mm-hmm. And it also makes no sense. If I remember, what's the you've got to help me. You're gonna have to look this up. But isn't one of the last songs in the film "When Love Is Found"?
Yes. It is, which is basically just
a callback
to
of song that was cut out.
Yeah, it's odd, but you know,
which Brian Henson actually talks about was like one of the biggest regrets was cutting that from the original film. But so basically, they thought that the negative was lost, and then they ended up finding the negative, and they restored it for the film, so you can watch the original intended theatrical version with the song originally back in where it is. For, I think it's the 35th anniversary? Was it 30th? 30th. Okay, so for the 30th anniversary. And it's actually going to come out it'll be on Disney Plus on the actual 30th anniversary, December 11th. Mm-hmm. But I am very excited for that, as somebody that watches A Muppet's Christmas Carol every year on Christmas Day. Very excited.
I'm going to be the controversial opinion here and say that...
I swear to God, you're within slapping range.
Mickey's Christmas Carol was better.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you when, but
and that's
coming.
Not just me messing with you. I actually think that, but I'm also a just unapologetic Mickey fan, so it happens. Sorry. If it makes you feel any better,
just move on, Brad.
If it makes you feel any better, my wife is with you that Muppets is the better one.
Because it is. Anyway.
Yes, so then we also had the sneak peek of National Treasure Egg of History. Which we did discuss during our Comic-Con.
Because I think it was originally announced there.
Yes, yeah. It was announced, and there was a little behind-the-scenes short, teasing it.
Right.
And now this one we actually got the full trailer and a full panel talking with the cast.
And the premiere date, December 14th. But yeah. No, I like that they're not doing this as like it's a soft reboot. It exists in the same universe. This is a new cast of explorers and treasure hunters, and it'll be interesting to see how everything ties into the previous two films.
Yeah,
but I'm actually really excited because I do love the National Treasure movies.
Yeah, and I think what's going to make it much more interesting than I think a lot of people are really anticipating is the fact that it looks like the show is going to be taking the history and treasure hunting aspect of it a bit more continental rather than just actual U.S. states.
We got that in the second one.
And
so we went to England, we went to Paris.
Well, yeah, but all of that stuff was still connected back to something that they're looking for American history. Yeah. And this is going a bit more North American history and hitting that Central America aspect of it, which I think, at least for American audiences, has been woefully undereducated about for just basic schooling. So that means that you have a lot of opportunity for stories that we are not, as an American audience, as familiar with. So these are going to be a lot newer stories, a lot more twists that we don't necessarily see coming, and a lot more fun because we are just not familiar with the history in the same way we are American history.
Right.
So I think that's gives us the opportunity for a lot more fun to be had and a lot more exciting stories.
I would agree.
So cool. And of course, Justin Barth is coming back because he is amazing, and aside from Nick Cage, the best part of the movies.
Right.
So, yes, he has to be back.
Okay, let's get on to the big uns.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur was a big one, but it is a fun one. You know,
it ties into the Marvel.
Yeah, we have a Marvel cartoon coming out, which neat.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say no.
anything about it.
I'm never going to say no to a Marvel cartoon, because Marvel cartoons are just one more way for like my kids who are too young to be able to see the live action movies to be able to connect with the Marvel universe. Because like, you know, Luke is absolutely obsessed with the Spider-Man and Avengers shows on
Disney Plus. Or not
Disney Plus that
Disney
premiered
Junior.
on Disney, either Disney Junior or Disney XD,
Yep.
where you know all the characters look like they're essentially pop figures.
Yep.
But yeah, like he's obsessed with all that stuff. Spidey and his amazing friends, and then was it? I think it's like Amazing Superheroes, which is the Avengers one that starts off every episode. They're all short episodes with like the old school cartoon style of Spidey, and then jumps into the newer like CGI animation for the characters, and like he loves that stuff, and be able to have that with him is amazing. And so I'm never going to say no to more cartoons from Marvel, because that's great.
Yeah,
we need more of that, honestly. But then yes, let's get into the big uns, starting with Lucas. Lucasfilm had some fun announcements.
Yep.
A couple really nice ones. A couple I think you have some opinions on.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Brad.
Starting with Andor.
Don't care! And I really don't care that it's going to be 24 goddamn episodes.
Family show.
Sorry.
Family show.
Sorry. Like 24 episodes for a character that was an afterthought in his own film? Like, sorry, you and me had to do a double take when at the Disney 23 website they have him listed as, what was the,
Rebel hero?
Yeah. Will embark on the path that is destined to turn him into a rebel hero. Do you remember him being a rebel hero in the movie that he was in where he got blown the hell up? The damn robot was more of a hero than he was.
I mean, if you're talking hero as far as notoriety and recognition, no, because very few people actually knew who he was in universe.
What did Cassian
and as far as his
Andor...
actions deeming him a hero, aside from dying a quote heroic death, I'd say no, his actions didn't really justify that.
Donnie Yen was more of a hero. That blind dude was taking people out left and right. This is the best part of that movie.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is
that was so dope.
Amazing.
But I just like, and of all the stuff, like of all the other things that was announced by Lucasfilm, like Bad Batch Season 2, was it Tales of the Jedi? Thank you.
Which I have my own qualms about this one,
but I'm very intrigued to see what they end up doing.
No, without question.
But for like of any live action film that you, or if any live action characters that you can do, we're getting Ahsoka. We already knew that. We're getting Mandalorian Season 3. We already knew that.
And apparently something called Skeleton Crew, which they kind of announced under the radar through Vanity Fair back in May.
Yeah.
And then did a little extra something apparently at this year's Celebration,
which I don't
which I didn't hear anything about. And now they finally have the show's name, Skeleton Crew, and the apparently repeat of the announcement, because apparently it was announced at Celebration once again. Didn't hear about this. That Jude Law is attached to this project.
I don't remember it.
Cool, but I mean, it's being the showrunner's John Watts, and the writer, the lead writer is going to be Christopher Ford.
No.
So I mean, there's definitely a very solid chance that this could be a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have faith considering who's handling it.
Yeah,
awesome.
And
it sounds like Favreau and Filoni are both going to be involved, which just makes it even better. So yeah, cool.
But why did we need an Andor series? I keep going back to, why are we giving that character more development when...
I mean, I think it has something to do with the fact that Cassian Andor is a character that already exists, and they haven't done much with him.
Uh-huh.
The problem is, it feels like it's going back to Kathleen Kennedy's whole thing about, well, people don't necessarily want new characters, but they also don't want us to recast old characters.
Right.
So, let's just keep expanding on the parts of the franchise that we already have in canon for the movies, and just keep adding to that, which...
Sure, people don't want new characters. Mandalorian.
I mean, look...
It has been, like, far and away their biggest success that's come out of the Star Wars franchise since Disney took over.
The problem that I have with Andor is it's very clear the idea with Andor is that they are trying to develop more of the street level characters, where they're trying to do what Marvel's doing now, but with Star Wars characters, where the people that aren't the big names in the franchise. It's not a Skywalker, it's not a Kenobi, it's not a whatever.
Right.
And there's nobody else that has a family legacy in Star Wars, and we don't need to go diving in for otherwise.
Yeah, but like...
Nobody else has a family legacy in Star Wars, and we don't need to go diving for otherwise.
Right.
But, I mean, honestly, though, if they're trying to expand all those characters, especially ones that are going to be attached to, like, the Rebel Alliance, I get that.
Well, here's the thing that I would say.
Well, it pisses me off specifically because they had a better opportunity to do exactly that with new characters, but a part of the franchise that people have literally been begging for ever since Disney took over. We had Patty Jenkins and Rogue Squadron.
And that's basically...
And then we didn't.
We still don't know what happened with that. It's just indefinite hiatus, basically.
If you were wanting to try to expand on this side of the Rebel Alliance, you wanted to be able to tell more stories that happened within the context of the of before, during, or immediately after the original 3 movies, and you wanted to tell something that was more, down to the day-to-day personnel, not the big heroes of the Republic. Yeah. That's the way that people have been begging for. Nobody's been begging for it, Andor.
Well, look.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like Diego Luna, but this is unnecessary.
Like, I play the video games. Jedi Fallen Order is a fantastic game.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
With an original character that they created for the game.
And an amazing actor to voice it.
We can't do something like that. Create a new character, tie them into the Rebel Alliance somehow.
Maybe bring that specific character into live action. I mean...
Yeah. I don't get Andor. That's the only thing. I don't get it.
It hurts.
It's like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. I mean, am I wrong? We know.
You're not.
We know the end result, so what does it matter? I mean, cool. We're gonna get backstory for this character that I'm gonna be honest. Did he really even do anything memorable in Rogue One?
I didn't care. I mean, look, of all of the new Star Wars movies, Rogue One is the one that I cared about the least. I love the big final action piece, but if you took that action piece out of the movie, there's nothing else left in that movie that I cared about. Honestly, I didn't care about the characters. Oh. I didn't care about the rest of the story. I will admit that the book that they put out to be the prequel to the movie, Catalyst, was actually a really good book. But just like we made the argument back during the days of the prequels, you can't put out a movie with a broken story and keep trying to fix it with more and more books and comics to make up for the things that were not thought of to go into the movie.
Look, and you
can't do that.
I love me some Felicity Jones. I do.
Yeah.
She might be the worst protagonist in Star Wars history. Like people, people that complain about the new trilogy and complain about Rey and Finn and Rey being a Mary Sue and all of this crap. You're a Big Bang Theory person, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I was shown the clip where nerdy dude. Well, that doesn't really help in that show.
Not at all. Which one? Glasses, no glasses, tall, skinny.
Tall, skinny.
Oh, Sheldon.
Sheldon, yes, his wife.
Sheldon and
Blossom. Mayim Bialik's character.
Why am I blanking on it? I should know every one of the characters off the top of my head.
Anyway.
Yeah. Continue.
Where he shows her Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And
she's like, wow, Indiana Jones is like the worst character ever because if he wasn't there, everything still would have happened regardless. Rogue One. Felicity Jones's character from Rogue One. Whether she was there or not, that mission was
every character from Rogue One.
Well, whether or not she was there, that mission was going forward regardless. Her being the daughter of the guy that made the Death Star, like the only information that she got from him was that he had built in
Amy Farrah Fowler.
But he basically told her that he'd built in the exhaust port
yes.
as a weakness, quote unquote, which exhaust goes out, not in. Good job, George. Science. But even then, like, she didn't come up with this grandiose plan to get the plans. Like, they were going to go get their plans regardless. Watch, this should be a hit.
Yeah.
God, I hope
Mike, you are...
God, I hope
I genuinely hope you're not... don't end up being prophetic on this one, because that might be the most depressing thing that could happen. But cool. Yeah. For the sake of spiting us, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah, but but literally everything that team did going into it...
Yeah. Nothing mattered.
Right. So why did we... Oh, because we got a dope-ass space battle? And we got to see Darth Vader go ham on some people in a hallway? Hey, Cody.
Cody! Yes, Amy, yes. I don't know, like... And that's the thing, if the reason why you go back and say, oh, it was all worth it because of the Darth Vader scene, well, then why not just give us a Darth Vader movie? Like... Current Disney Star Wars comics have Darth Vader comics. Like, that's a thing that exists. There's a Darth Vader series that's been going on and has had some really great action pieces there. Some really great stories. And honestly, if that's what you want, just make that into a show or a movie or something. Because, yes, we do deserve more Darth Vader action on screen to justify his reputation.
Oh, you
so
mean
why
you
not?
mean like what we got in Obi-Wan, where he snapped the dude's neck and then was just dragging the other dude down the street trying to draw Obi-Wan out? That was dope as hell.
I was thinking more along the lines of the whole pull the starship out of the sky and break it in two with one hand.
Oh, you could, yeah.
Like that feels like that was a bit more impressive, but you know.
Dude, even in Jedi Fallen Order. Like when he shows up and he's just like, oh, you're going to come at me?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Like,
oh, you're throwing a radiator at me? That shit out of here.
Like, if you want more Darth Vader, then just keep asking Disney for more Darth Vader. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But the rest of it did not matter. If you want more space battles, frickin' Rogue Squadron would have had it.
But
anyway,
we're running a little long.
Yes,
so let's
Tales of the Jedi, I personally take umbrage with, only because it's one of those things where fans of Star Wars, and specifically the old Star Wars comics, have been saying, please give us Tales of the Jedi, and then Disney came back and said, oh sure, we'll give you Tales of the Jedi. Has nothing to do with the Old Republic, but we'll give you Tales of the Jedi. Here, it's some short anthology stories that happened right before the Clone Wars. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be some really fun stories.
There weren't comics for Star Wars before Disney bought them. What are you talking Damn it, I couldn't finish that with a straight face.
I have a whole shelf back here that says otherwise. But, I mean, look.
Expanded universe, what?
I mean, look. Yes, these stories may end up being really great. And if this turns out to be one of those things where they haven't said it yet, but if the season comes out and they say, okay, well, we're going to make more seasons of this, and now it's going to be an anthology series where each season is going to be going and taking different generations of the Jedi, from the Old Republic to the High Republic to the, after the sequel series and all that. If they're going to do that, cool.
Or what if we even went back?
I would back that 100% and say that justifies the Tales of the Jedi name.
What if we went
back?
If
they don't, then they're bastardizing the name for the sake of the fans' nostalgia, and not giving the fans the nostalgia they asked for.
Or like, what if we went back to the?
Take that personally.
Like, what if we went back to like the Old Republic?
I would love that.
Yeah,
Disney's made clear that they're trying to avoid the Old Republic specifically for right now, because there's a lot that could go very, very messy for them, considering how much the Old Republic was covered before Disney.
Right.
But we'll see. I'm still game if they finally do it. But cool. Especially if they do it in a way like what they're doing with the storytelling for the High Republic.
Yeah.
Because that has absolutely blown all expectations out of the water. Right. I love every bit of that. And seriously, if they come in and do something like that with the Old Republic and bring in that brain trust of like the best 5 to 7 authors, and they all end up being responsible for the stories, for the books, the comics, the movie shows, whatever, I will fight to the death for them to do that.
Or, I mean, so I guess
I will. I really, really will.
So I guess this first set of shorts is supposed to focus on.
I will fight Mike Tyson for that.
Good luck.
I never said I would win or even survive.
I'm about to say,
but I would do it.
Mike Tyson today would still murder you.
Yes, he would. Gleefully.
I'm making children.
That sounds like a valid threat that he would follow through on. Or his tiger.
I mean, what do tigers dream of when they take a litter? Tiger snooze.
Then we also had Indiana Jones 5? I don't know why they call it 5.
Yeah.
There are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. I mean, maybe if you're saying that all of the young Indiana Jones
they didn't do a movie.
Maybe if all Young Indiana Jones counts as a fourth, then maybe that's fine. I don't know.
That's weird.
There is no fourth.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, so we got Indiana Jones. I
don't know who was asking for this specifically.
You know who was asking for it, and all kidding about the 5 aside, I think Kathleen Kennedy looks at 4 and is like, we can't let this character go out this way.
Which is fair.
Like, I guarantee you that's the whole point of this movie is like, we can't let 4 be our last member of Indiana Jones.
Which, look, I will...
like, that has to be what this is, right?
I'll buy that theory, especially because they specifically went out and grabbed James Mangold to direct, and considering what he did with Logan, if that's going to be the type of Indiana Jones story we get here... considering, we're getting senior citizen Indiana Jones, then, I mean, cool, that's fine. Casting Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this as well. She was great in... seriously, why do I keep blanking on things I should know the name of off the top of my head?
Dude, like, how crazy would it be, though? Because the original 3 take place in the 30s. And then 4 jumps to the 50s with the whole the Red Scare and Roswell and aliens and everything like that. Dude,
Fleabag, good lord, I loved her in Fleabag, and so much else. But I mean, yeah, this would be cool.
Like, what if this one jumps to like the 80s and we actually get like a senior citizen Indiana Jones going on like one last adventure? Whereas in 4, they were like, no, he's not 70 years old.
The fight to take down Reagan.
Or the Soviet Union.
Tomato, tomato.
Because, I mean, we don't know anything about the plot, but, like, what if that is it? Like, what if this is, like, the last hurrah of Indiana Jones?
I mean, what if... Come on, there's no way there's going to be another after this. This has got to be the last hurrah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which, I mean, honestly, I'd be...
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
cool.
what if we actually go into this knowing, like, we're done, we're going to make amends for what happened with 4, and we're going to let him either ride off and... This Disney sucks.
Yeah, yes, Cody. I too
deeply
want a Darth Bane show or movie.
That's hilarious. But
so much.
I mean, I am going to be very intrigued to see what Indy 5 actually ends up being.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, in all seriousness, I really do hope that it ends up being good, because obviously what we had last time was so sad.
Yeah.
Like, it basically took all those jokes about, oh, you know, another Indiana Jones movie, Senior Citizen Jones, and it kind of confirmed that's exactly what we got.
You know what? Honestly,
only thing that the movie was missing to match the parodied jokes was actually a walker. So if they can do better this time, okay.
What I will honestly tell you, what I thought when I walked out of Indy 4 was the Steven Spielberg, George Lucas episode of South Park, where the boys are like, we have to take films away from filmmakers like Steven Spielberg and George Lucas because they're clearly insane. Not that one.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that episode.
No. Sorry. Not that one. The episode where Lucas and Spielberg remake Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first time that they make fun of Spielberg and Lucas. Back when they did the reissue of the original trilogy, and there was talk of doing a remake of Raiders, like that early 2000s where they
good
everybody was remaking everything.
Yeah, it was after the whole ET thing. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But anyway, so
guns for walkie-talkies.
We don't talk about that. We just don't discuss that. Even Spielberg regrets that one, so we don't talk about it.
We should.
We respect Spielberg enough to say if he regrets it, then we're not going to bring it up.
But we still can't call out great filmmakers for shitty decisions?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Okay.
No, that's literally half of what we do on the show.
That's fair.
So then we have the Marvel Studios announcements, which oh my gosh, we got to go through very, very fast. So Marvel Studios... the fact that they had a live performance of the Rogers the musical from Hawkeye is amazing. And seriously, if you've not seen Hawkeye, or specifically if you haven't seen the ending of Hawkeye, just do it. Even if you don't want to see the show, just literally go to the last episode of Hawkeye and go to the credit scene. It is the entire Rogers the musical. Start to finish.
It looks so ridiculous.
It's amazing.
In the best way.
It is amazing, and that is a gift.
Is that supposed to be the waitress from the first Avengers?
It is, absolutely. That is 100%.
Which, by the way, you know who that was?
Yes.
Who?
Ashley
Johnson.
Yeah. That was without question. This musical right here was a gift from God, and I am thankful every day it exists.
Like, I remember vividly, sitting there, who the hell? Why does she look so familiar? Ashley Johnson. The Last of Us. Holy shit! You never played The Last of Us, did you?
I didn't, but that's where you knew her from. Not literally the entire rest of her back catalog of work, which is a mile friggin' long.
No. Well, and here's why, because I recognized her face, and I had just finished playing Last of Us, and they did mocap on the. So I'm sitting there, why does that face look so familiar?
That actually hurts me a little bit that was how you recognized her.
Well, no, I
recognized her immediately for several other reasons.
Well, no.
Because she's amazing.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is, I'm sitting there, I'm like, why do I like that?
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that face recently. Why do I recognize it? And then I was like, that's where.
I mean, I guess to each their own. But then, of course, we had some more Wakanda Forever stuff, which
Right.
awesome. There was some Ironheart stuff, great. More Quantumania, cool. There was the surprise announcement for Werewolf by Night. By Night, which
I have no idea what the hell that is, but that's kind of cool.
Marvel horror show. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. The trailer dropped on that one, which feels like we were promised a spy thriller, that kind of spy versus spy thing for Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and then
we got. Yeah.
And then after that. We kept hearing that there was going to be another one like that was going to go even deeper. Kept hearing that it's going to happen, They never did. And now watching this trailer, this is 100% what that is.
Yep.
And I could not be more excited.
Oh, dude.
Like, I was already excited that Secret Invasion was going to be a thing.
Yep.
Seeing what it's going to be makes me
like
very happy.
Like, this looks like a taut political thriller of, like,
It makes me
infiltration
so
of
happy.
governments and not knowing who to trust, and it's gonna be so much fun. I am super excited for it.
I'm okay with this in so many ways. So then, of course, there's and then of course, let's not forget the part of the trailer with President or President to be James Rhodey.
See, I don't know if he's a president. I don't know if he's a senator. I don't know what he is, but he has a security detail.
Either way, the fact that they are very clearly going towards that storyline from the comics makes me happy, because while I know Rhodey being president in the comics, I got some mixed opinions from the fans. I actually enjoyed it, and the things that they got to do with him as a former Avenger becoming president, I thought was interesting. Oh my gosh. Nope, we're not going there. We're definitely not going there.
That's a funny joke, though. That's a funny joke.
But look, I think it has a lot of opportunity for some really fun storytelling, and especially if they end up bringing more Captain Marvel into the next couple phases of movies
theory,
or shows.
This should spin right into the Marvels, right?
Secret Invasion should 100% have some connection to Captain Marvel in some way, form, or fashion, because it was literally set up by her movie.
Yeah.
And so if we don't at least get a Brie Larson cameo here, I'm going to be disappointed because of the missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it opens the door for so many things, because I know not everybody was a fan of the Rhodey Carol Danvers relationship. I actually enjoyed it, and to be able to see
It was there.
that and any of the aspects of the stories that led up towards Civil War II.
Yeah.
I think any of those pre-storylines that could be brought in because of all this, I think is just good for this, because it adds more dimension.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Yeah. Armor Wars, cool. Loki season 2, I am so ready for.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Echo, cool. Daredevil, Born Again, the official confirmation that it is in fact a full reboot, not just a continuation from Netflix. I don't think we expect anything less. Awesome.
Agreed. New World Order.
And then, of course, the art debut for the Thunderbolts.
Yep.
Cool. I like that. I'm down.
You would figure whatever happens in New World Order has to set up Thunderbolts, right?
You would think.
With John Walker and Bucky joining the Thunderbolts, like whatever spins out of New World Order has to set up this.
You would think, especially with at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You had such a tight relationship between Bucky and Sam, and so seeing Bucky go off to a different team and not be teamed up with Sam for as Cap, definitely implies something's going to happen to split them, good or bad.
Or I was about to say, or could this be like, let's at least get one person on this team that we know we can trust?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and of course the Marvels, getting all that.
And then going back to, sorry, really quick, the Thunderbolts. I know a lot of people are pissy about Zemo not being announced part of the team or Abomination, but
Whatever.
we're still a little ways off. Like, what if they build in, or what if they fill into the plot in another way?
I mean, we
'Cause
still
with
have the
Zemo-
events of She-Hulk
Right.
going on, that if Abomination is in any way connected to the
Right.
Thunderbolts, announcing that might be a spoiler for something that happens here in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if we get a death fake out for Abomination, like at the end of the season, and by announcing him being part of the Thunderbolts, that
Right.
totally undercuts that.
Yep.
Like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
What that actually ends up being the thing.
Good call.
Cool. 20th century Avatar. I think that was just expected.
I mean, it's going to be the biggest movie of the holidays. Let's just be honest.
I mean, maybe.
It's going to be the biggest movie of the holidays.
And then day 3, going real fast through. You had the conversations with Disney character voices panel with some of the heaviest hitters
I'd
in
say
the
Jim
the
Cummings,
voice acting.
Jodie Benson, Susan Egan,
Bill Farmer.
yeah, Linda Larkin. Like, if this was a
Brett Ian.
like this was a ridiculous collection.
How do you say Brett's last name? Brett Ewan?
I think it's Iwan. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It's freaking Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, some of the biggest names in voice acting of this and the last generation were here talking, and there is no panel I've wanted to be in the audience for more than this one. And the fact that it wasn't even an option for me to be able to go and be there, I died a little inside seeing this, but
Yeah.
I'm amazed that it happened.
Yeah.
So cool. Dancing with the Stars is already on season 31. Which,
Whatever. Keep going, bro.
Okay. And then, of course, Mike got to be fully introduced to just how prominent mascots are over in Southeast Asia.
Cool. Keep going. Don't care.
Thanks to Duffy and Friends, which apparently is a massive. I hadn't heard of him, but none of it surprises me.
Good talk. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Duffy. And then, of course, Imagineers had a full panel, which was awesome. I will always back up the opportunity for Imagineers to be able to introduce more of what they do to the public.
Absolutely.
Because that's amazing.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, just more of that, please.
Yep.
There were not one, but 2 different panels for the new Proud Family show.
Yep.
Once again, haven't seen it, but love the original, so I'm okay with this.
Right.
An impromptu panel from the editor-in-chief for Marvel Comics, and CB Zabluski, I believe, and then superstar artist Humberto Ramos, which, cool. Having them do some off-the-cuff talking to the audience.
Yeah.
Neat. A Kim Possible reunion for
The
20 years.
anniversary.
Yeah, with Christy Carlson Romano and Will Friedle.
Friedle. Not Will Ferrell.
I don't know why that one came out of my mouth. Will Friedle. I mean, seriously, if you don't watch what both of these wonderful people do online, you are missing out. Like, it doesn't matter if you're on TikTok or not. Go if you are, definitely go to Christy's channel, because she does some just fun stuff. But Christy's channel and Christy and Will both have a couple podcasts together that are also on YouTube. So going to hers or their YouTube channels and just watching them and all the stuff that they do, absolutely worth your time, because they're just amazing entertainers.
Agreed.
Yes. 40-year reunion panel for Tron.
That's
which
incredible to think about. Jeez.
And then Yeah, the big documentary announcement for Mickey, the Story of a Mouse.
Yep.
Which is apparently coming to Disney Plus. When was the date again?
I think it's this holiday, if I remember right. I don't remember off the top of my head.
November 18th.
Yeah,
yes.
this holiday.
Friday, November 18th. So that I'm looking forward to. So cool. Yeah, and if you want to be able to go and check out the trailers for any of the stuff, like Candy, we don't even have time to touch on all the Disney Animation and Pixar announcements.
Hocus Pocus 2, Inside Out 2,
Disenchanted, which I don't know if you saw the trailer for that already.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I loved everything about that.
Yep. Yeah, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Neat.
Mufasa. So much.
Yeah. Mufasa, with specifically great choice for the voice of Mufasa.
Yeah.
No, director. Dang, what is his name?
Who?
The actor Mufasa.
I don't remember.
Why am I blanking on his name? I am so ashamed.
You mean
of
the
this
original?
One. No, I know James Earl Jones.
Okay, just making sure.
Are you kidding me? No, the new voice that's been cast. Dang it! I will find it.
Good talk, Brad.
Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a Snow White.
Which, cool. It's got Gal Gadot, and for those of you who saw West Side Story, you have Rachel Ziegler as Snow White.
Which West Side Story was pretty fantastic.
Still haven't had time to see it, but I keep hearing it's amazing. So seeing the two of them together, cool. Seems great.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid with the teaser trailer.
Yep.
Which, cool. I mean, honestly, I'm interested. I'm generally not interested in the live action remakes of Disney classics, but
there was one that I cared about.
This one, I'm down. I think with the cast, with it being directed by Rob Marshall, it's at least it has a chance of being interesting.
Like,
so
I'm gonna be honest,
I'm down.
I was never a big Little Mermaid fan.
That's fine.
So this one it's there. Okay,
that's fine.
Cool.
Elemental.
Right.
Cool. Don't know too much about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the names seem somewhat self-explanatory about the characters, but cool. You know, they are elemental. Win or Lose. That's a new Pixar thing.
I think it's a series, if I remember right? Yeah, series. Yeah.
First ever long-form series.
Yeah.
Which that's interesting.
Yeah.
Elio, which cool. Yet another new property, new IPs from Disney Animated and Pixar. I'm all for. Inside Out 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Zootopia Plus.
Iwaju.
I think so.
I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's not, we deeply apologize for butchering that one.
But
it looks interesting.
Next year.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
And that's from Disney's animation studio.
Yes,
that's not Pixar.
Disney proper. Then of course Strange World, which also looks interesting. You know, it looks like a fun little thing. Wish, cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out, and yes. I think this is going to be has a lot of potential. Has a lot of
Zemo!
Has a lot of opportunity for something just fun. Honestly, to be able to go back to new properties from Disney Animated and Pixar and just have fun with it rather than trying to make another sequel or another remake or another guaranteed whatever. I will never say no to that.
I loved Encanto.
I'm cool. Yeah. I'm cool with it. So
Encanto
let's keep doing
so good. Like, I am totally down for it. Like, new properties, awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep doing it.
Now give me another Captain America sequel. Wait, what?
With that, guys, do not forget that if you are not already, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Oh, it's not
over
real.
on YouTube. definitely go follow us there and have fun with that. Don't forget to like and follow over on Facebook. If you're still on the Facebooks. Sorry, the Facebook.
No. Justin Timberlake told him to drop the.
When has Justin Timberlake ever known anything?
I mean, he did single-handedly bring sexy back, Brad. Because them other boys don't know how to act.
It's fair. And then, of course, if you want to be able to check out more of our stuff, but do not have time for the videos, you can always check out the audio of our show over on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and Stitcher, because, reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
It's always nice. And yeah. So, Mike?
Brad?
Did you have fun recapping all the D23 stuff?
Yeah, it was fun.
Was it a worthwhile year of announcements?
For the most part.
Andor.
I want my damn Fantastic Forecast announced, Brad.
But yeah, no, seriously.
No. It was a good expo.
Yeah.
I will be very intrigued to see if more stuff gets announced, not just on the Marvel side, but on the 100th anniversary side.
Yes, please.
So that's something that I'll be very intrigued to see what comes next.
But with that,
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, as always, I'm Brad. That's Mike. We're Dallas Geek. And see ya.
Okay. Did you hit the intro?
Apparently.